there is literally so much I could say about this in different aspects because I'm not against intermittent fasting. I actually like the idea of fasting. It gives your digestive system a break and it allows you to eat bigger meals. But then again, it's very context dependent. Saying that something is optimal for anyone, I would run away. Saying that something is the best thing ever or the only way ever, or you can save. Actually, 1 second. Okay, it says you don't need to eat healthy, you don't need to lift weights, and you don't need to spend a lot of money. And I don't really know what that stopwatch stands for. It says you don't need these things to lose weight. And there's an 87% success rate. And it's talking about intermittent fasting, but not only is it wrongly depicting what intermittent fasting is, but if it's saying that you don't need to eat healthy and you don't need to lift weights, then what's going to keep you looking lean? What's going to keep your metabolic rate up? And what's going to actually give you curves in the right places and make you look freaking jacked and shredded and exactly how you want to look? Like, if you're not going to be eating healthy foods, then, like, your digestion's going to be shit, your performance is going to be shit, your sleep is going to be shit, your libido is going to go down the trash, and who wants any of that to happen? And who wants their mood to be bipolar, pretty much? So it's just absolutely ridiculous saying that you don't need to eat healthy and you don't need to train. And that's exactly what I'm getting from it. Because training is what tears down the muscle, and it's what gives your muscles the hint that it needs to synthesize more proteins, because like you're tearing apart the muscles, it needs to adapt to the next time that you're going to put load upon it. And that's why progressive overload and having a progressive training plan is the best thing for you. Because lifting weights, I wrote something, 1 second. Okay, so so I'm not saying everyone needs to lift like freaking 5 days a week or religiously. You don't need to live in the gym. But the thing is, you don't even have to love it. It's just that weightlifting can really enhance other things, like your functionality when you move around life. It's the most functional thing you can do. And what functional means to different people is different. So it's important that you take functional by means of how you live your life, your ability to pick shit up, to avoid slips and falls and all of that good stuff. But for example, when you're walking or if you run or yeah, pretty much I'll start there. A lot of the time, that's when your quads are probably the strongest, or if you even bike ride, your quads are the strongest. So it leaves you with weak hamstrings and weak glutes. And I find a lot of the time people that don't weight train are actually very quad dominant and they can't really recruit their posterior chain. And a strong glutes and a strong posterior chain is so important to preventing low back pain, knee pain, because a lot of the time, if you don't have the, because it all connects to the knee capsule, so not having a strong posterior and anterior leg, it's leaving you more prone to injury, because if you slip or trip, then obviously when you land or fall, it's gonna favor one muscle area and the rest is just gonna collapse. And especially if you're older, it can prevent muscle loss, osteoporosis. It can help you still perform. It's the fountain of youth. I know so many people who look like they're still in their early 40s when they're in their mid to late 50s. Hell, I know some people in their early 60s who still look like they're just entering their 50s. So it truly is the elixir for youth. It keeps you strong. It gives you great bone health, heart health, all that stuff. So to say, to completely, okay, cool, you want to lose weight, but if you're going to dismiss weight training and eating healthy, then you're just going to make it worse for yourself in the long run. Like I always say, is this something you can sustain for life? And is this something that is going to promote a healthy living? Because if you're saving money now by fasting and spending your money on shit, cheap food, then you're going to be paying the price later on when you have health issues, when you have to see the doctor all the time. So it's just the most stupidest thing ever. And like, there are so many studies that there are mental benefits, cognitive benefits. So it can even prevent dementia. It can prevent mood disorders, all of that sort of stuff. So it just, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like a freaking libido boost in itself. It's like taking confidence pills. Confidence pills, it gives you the best confidence as well, because if you're getting curves in the right places, then you're more likely to enjoy your interactions with people, to go after what you want and be attracted to good shit. So yeah, that's just my little rant on why resistance training is important. And that pretty much still ties into why eating healthy foods is important. And it's just completely nulling what intermittent fasting really is, because intermittent fasting just means that you're shortening your eating window. Like, you can still stick to the same meal plan, but if you're eating it all within a certain time frame, that allows you to eat bigger meals and you'll feel more satisfied that way, instead of like spacing them out. Like, for example, I love it when, like, I find that as soon as I eat a meal, I'm more hungry to eat my next meal. But if I'm away from the house, I can fight my hunger and I can put it off until I'm back home to cook another meal. And that means that I'll be able to eat pretty much two meals in one, and I'll be so much more satisfied. I'll get that really full effect. Yeah, my tummy will bloat, but it's bloating because there's food in it. Like, there's food volume in my stomach. And to me, I like that feeling. Like, I like eating a big meal. And especially people that are dieting and they don't have a lot of calories to play with, by shortening your eating window, you're able to eat so much more food within a meal. And if you pick shit quality foods like donuts and bars and shit, or burgers, then there's a high chance that those hedonic foods, aka foods that are just pleasurable and trigger all your reward centers, it's likely that you're going to overeat again. So yeah, keep that in mind next time you face something that says that intermittent fasting is a be all end all. You don't have to spend a lot of money on food. You don't have to weight train. It's the magic pill, because it's not. And if you think about eating all those shit foods, it's going to have all of those negative impacts I mentioned at the very beginning. And not only that, but your body's probably going to look like shit, because if you don't prioritize protein, you have nothing to stimulate and maintain the muscle mass that you have. And highly processed foods is shown to be a contributor to metabolic disorders as well, because it's interfering with your biochemical pathways. It's not allowing you to, like, you need fiber, and there are a lot of chemical pathways that need protein and enzymes and amino acids that are found within protein intake. So if you're not prioritizing protein, that goes to shit. And yeah, I hope that helps. I like my rambles, but I don't know if they help.